Hey guys, welcome back to Starner Research. I have my friend and cosplayer Michael Byrnes here with me as we talk about last week's event at the Chicago Theater with the premiere of the documentary on the famous DC Comics story, Kingdom Come.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was basically a documentary of Alex Ross putting together the story of how it came to light. Him and Mark Waid got together uh, and put the story together, collaborated together, and then he would have his friends come over and pose for him and put costumes on, and he would use the photo reference to basically draw out his people. And one of the people was there. His name is Sal Abernathy. I think I'm saying his last name right. Sal. He played Captain Marvel, which I thought was cool. I didn't even realize that was him till we started talking. And then he showed it up on the video that Sal was one of the characters in the book. And I was like, that's impressive. The guy who plays Superman in the comic, his name's Frank. I can't remember his last name, but he was not there. But back in the day when he was younger, me and him could be twins. It was like that kind of thing. So we could be brothers. I say like that's twins, but brothers. So when he drew him, it was like yeah, I could definitely see the resemblance. So it's pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah,
cool. It was at the Chicago Music Box. That's what they call it. It's some old theater where they play. Um, I want to say like old movies and stuff, but it's really nice. It's got like someone compared it to the Muppet Theater, the Muppet or the old puppets in the corner and shit like that. But it was nice, and some man would play like an organ before the movies and things like that. So it was really nice. It was really cool.
yeah, because for Alex Ross, he does amazing artwork with any of the comics he's involved in. It brings about a certain touch of the classics, yet to feel a little sense of modernism, I guess, at the time, I guess if they were around the 90s or so, or because Kingdom Come, that came out, like, around, like, 90s, early 2000s originally?
Mhm. Yeah, his first go around was the Terminator book. He did Terminator, and then he did Marvels, and Marvels was a big hit. So then he did Kingdom Come. And like I said, he wants his people to look realistic. He usually leans for realism. That's why when you see Superman, he's thicker. You know, he's not shredded like you'll see him in some of the other comic books. He looks like he's real. You know, he's had a biscuit or two in his diet. So, so have I.
Yeah, yeah,
But
because
it was nice. They gave me they gave me this DVD. It's brand new. Uh, there's that. I haven't even opened it yet. So that's cool. They said they're going to send me more goodies, but they're currently in Italy, and they gave me this cool poster. You can see that, with the music box, and then if you want to do the QR code, that's the QR code. I guess you can scan that and yeah, get the Blu-ray right there. You want to get the Blu-ray, it's right there. Just scan that. You can see the fun show. It's a cool show, and I didn't realize that I was in it until I got there, and they're like, you know, you're in the movie, you know? And they said, yeah, we filmed you like 9 years ago in New York Comic Con. I was like, oh yeah, me and Mike went up there. Yeah, that's right. And they filmed us. I was dressed as the Kingdom Come Superman then, and they filmed us and put us in the film. That was a great day. Actually, it was pretty cool. Alex Ross told me I was the best Kingdom Come Superman he'd ever seen. I thought I took that to heart. I was like, that's pretty cool coming from the man who created the character. You know, specific
I agree.
type of Superman. Thanks, man. Of course, I wear makeup. And this is blonde hair, so it's I have to wear makeup to make that black hair come out. I have to wear all kind of stuff.
No, I got
It's
you.
like a 40-minute process to putting them out. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan of the Kingdom Come stories. Like I said, I got these old books. I don't know if you can see these or not. I got this one. This one I believe is autographed by Mark Waid and Alex Ross. You see that? So
Yeah.
they autographed that for me. One of my buddies who used to own a comic book store got this from me. Someone brought it into his store and says, "Would you know anybody who'd want this?" He goes, "I know exactly who'd want that." It was me. And this is the absolute version of the Kingdom Come. You can see the difference, the size difference, but it's pretty big. But no, it's like I said, I'm a big fan of it. I love his artwork. If you go around my house, you can see all kind of like Alex Ross artwork. So I'm a big fan. Like I said, he's in the realism. I like realism. His mom at one time used to work for an advertisement and a company, and she would paint, and her artwork looks like his artwork. So, in my opinion, talent does transfer genetically. So, that's my opinion. But of course, you got to harness that talent and make it grow. So,
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's amazing. Like I think even to this day, Alex's artwork is very unique and iconic. No one's ever done anything similar to that.
No, not that I can think. I mean, there's been some great artists throughout the years, but he took on a more realistic role with it. And, I mean, I when I was younger, I thought about that. I was like, man, what would it be like if someone had taken on make them all look realistic? And I thought one day maybe I would do that, but he's way, way above my level.
Oh, you never know. But
Never know.
so for I guess one thing I wanted to ask is like, how'd you get to be a part of this event to pretty much be Superman for the event last week?
They put out a Facebook post internationally, so it was basically everyone around the world got to apply, and as when I applied, I was getting tagged like every day. People are like, Mike, you need to do this. You need to do this. So I went ahead and applied, and they wrote me there. So his Raimi was I want to say he's one of the photographers or one of the filmers or one of the guys who edits. I forget which one he plays. But he's like, hey, we'd be interested in you coming up here if you're interested. I was like, yeah, I'll be happy to come up there. And I got there. Like I said, I got to Chicago and I got there a day early. I got there Friday, and Saturday was the day, and I was just kind of just like, what am I going to do all day Saturday? But basically, I just rode a bicycle around Chicago so I can do some more what I paid, like that it helped me. But um, I got to the music box, and everybody was so nice. Ramsey, which was the director of the show, he came out and greeted me. He was real sweet and cool to me. Caitlin was one of the assistants. She was super sweet. She come out, and I didn't realize Sal was there. And Sal came over, and he was just big personality. But yeah, they invited me up. Like I said, I applied for it. I had to send them some pictures. I think I sent them three Kingdom Comes in the Cape, and I also sent them the one with the farmer Kingdom Come. And then when I got there, they told me, "Oh yeah, we picked you because you look more like him and you're in the film." I was like, "Oh, well, that's cool. I did not know I was in the film." So that was kind of an extra bonus. So like me and Mike Sullivan, we were and he was the Spectre and I was Kingdom Come. Like I said, we were in New York that day. It was like there was a line for Alex Ross, and then there was a line for me and Mike to take pictures. So that was kind of fun. That was cool.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Like, and they sent it to like for any Superman cosplayer for the entire world, and yeah, they managed to pick you because I mean there are some I've seen in other countries, but not too many, especially doing the Kingdom Come version.
There's a lot of guys out there do a great job. I mean, my buddy Danny, he's like super shredded. He applied too. Um, like I said, he's a real bodybuilder. I mean, he's legit. I know another fella, I think his name's Foggy or Froggy. They were talking about him. He applied. Um, I don't know who all applied. They only told me that they picked me. They didn't tell me who all applied, but they said there was a bunch. And they said when they found that I was in the like I turned it in, they were looking for me. I was like, oh, that's good. Well, why did you just contact me to begin with? But that's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause you got like the chin for it, and I mean for any superhero, because it's always funny that with the superheroes, they always have like that big, strong chin.
It's the chin. Yep, it's the chin. My daughter used to bitch about it. Now she says like it's a trait. I was like, I told you it's a good thing. And she used to complain that her back was wide. I was like, "People like that when they're older." And now she's trying to be a bodybuilder, but she's about to have a third kid, so she had to hang at it for a little bit. But she was getting ready to do a fitness competition, and she was really happy that her back was wide. I was like, "I told you." Of course, I come from a big family, so they're all big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it fits with Alex Ross's style because to me, yeah, Superman is not a bodybuilder exactly. It's more
the
like a
strong. Yeah, he comes from the strongman back in the day when he got like Jerry and Joe, when they put Superman together, it was they're looking at the circus strongman. That's why he's got the red trunks and the red trunks because the strongman wore those trunks when they're at the circus. So that's basically what he was going for. So I mean, when you do still have the guys who give the bodybuilder look, like for example, Ed McGuinness, he makes them real round. I love Ed McGuinness's work. I got his book back there, matter of fact.
nice.
I love but yeah, I like the round look. I just dig it all. But do they have different variations. Like I said, sometimes they just make him look like he's corn fed. Just a big old country boy. Because he is from Kansas. When they did All Star Superman, he just looked like he was corn fed. So it's fine with me. That's how I look like anyway.
Sorry, you were cutting out a bit. What was that last part?
A lot of those guys, they draw him to where he looks corn fed. And I kinda look like that anyway, even though I do spend a lot of time in the gym, sometimes I just come across as just corn-fed, but that's okay. I have to diet down a lot to shred up, so it's a lot of starving and riding my bike to get where I need to be.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
Yeah,
So I guess for the Kingdom Come story by itself, is that one of your favorite stories?
that is my favorite story. I like that story, I love that story. I remember when I read it, um, I was like, "This is amazing," because I've been reading comics since I was a kid. Of course, we all got our start people my age got their start, with the Super Friends. And of course, the Batman 66 show with Adam West was on. So we watched those shows and we would get comics and whatnot. And um, so during reading the Kingdom Come book, there was tons of Easter eggs that they had through there. Like, for example, you would see um, Zan and Jaina, I don't think the Wonder Twins, they're in there, and you'd see different things. And then when they went to Planet Krypton, the restaurant, you'd see the different things on the walls, and it was just neat. It was just really neat. If you knew anything about comics and you knew the history, if you were looking at the background, you would see all the different Easter eggs and things that led up to it. And then, of course, they're all older, and I appreciate it because we're all getting older. Even Power Girl, she grew her hair out. So when my wife and me uh, did Kingdom Come, she was Power Girl. Her hair was long, so she looked gorgeous. Shit, I have that picture up in the hallway.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing seeing like the pictures with you and your family cosplaying as different members of the super family.
Yeah, we did the Super Family up back in I can't remember what year. We used to all dress up as supers, and we couldn't go 5 feet, man. Everybody was taking our picture. I got to the point where the youngest one, she's like, "I'm done," and they would ask her for a picture. She goes, "Nope." I was like, "Just be all right." Yeah, they all grew up. So they're all doing their own thing now. My grandkids, they kind of want to play. Like I think last time we cosplayed, we did the turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I was Shredder. So that was the last thing we did. And he's got, I think there's a Comic Con in Arkansas coming up. He wants to do something. So my grandson. So we'll see. Whatever we can do, we'll see.
I gotcha.
Mhm.
So I guess for the Kingdom Come suit, like, is that one of your favorites to cosplay as when it comes to Superman?
Yeah, it was my second suit ever. There was a guy in Dallas who made that suit for me. Um, but it turned out really nice. It took him a long time to get it to me, but it's really nice. It's lasted forever. Um, how long have I had that thing? 10 or 15 years I've had the same suit, and it's really nice suit. Yeah, people, when I show up with that suit on or the Fleischer, um, it draws attention. And I like, you look like you're right out of a comic book. Thank you. So I had the guy from what's that place? It's I might be calling it wrong. Mile High Comics or something like that. I think it's he owns like the biggest comic book store in the world. It's huge, just like a warehouse. But he approached me and he goes, I've been reading comics my whole life, and you're the most close I've ever seen to the real thing. I was like, thanks, man. He goes, no, seriously, you look like you stepped out of a comic book. I appreciate that. And I have to tell folks, this is makeup. I said, just observe that. This is makeup. I says, anybody can do it. It's just put on a costume and put on some makeup.
Yeah, it's amazing how you change your appearance completely with that. So, like, that's probably a benefit, for, especially for the people in the event where they don't have to worry about hiring a makeup person to, touch you up much. You basically
No,
did it all yourself.
I do it all myself. It's trial and error. It's like, I remember when we first started, I couldn't get the hair right. And then slowly throughout the years, figured out different techniques. The makeup, um, just different techniques you learn. Like, it's like instead of, I would use a pencil at first, like a makeup pencil. Finally, I just used the mascara for my eyebrows. I was like, it's right there because I was doing this and it turned out better. Um, like I don't use lipstick or nothing like that, but to do that, the eyelashes and eyebrows, because I'm blonde, as you can see, blondish. It has to use the black, and then of course I put the painter's tape around the hairline and spray it. I don't have any with me in here, but I have. It's like it's stuff you would get at Party City. Well, when Party City was around, and it's just a spray can. So it's like black hairspray, and it washes right out. So it turns out really good. I did learn over the years. I started using uh, waterproof mascara because when I was outside, I'd sweat and the mascara would run. I'd look like I've been crying about something. So I had to fix that. So, and then with the costume, I learned early on, which every guy wearing spandex should learn this early on, wear a dance belt and put a pad in the dance belt. Because when I went to Metropolis one time, it was high noon. The sun was shining straight down, and there was a big shadow of my member, if you will. And I was like, I wonder why all these mommies were coming up to me. You could see every bit of me. It's like, oh my God. I didn't get oh my God. So that was like the first 2 years. And my sister-in-law was there. And she's like, here. And she had her swimsuit. She took her swimsuit pads, put that in your trunk. So ever since then, I wear a phone cup so you won't see the definition of my member, if you will. So yeah, there's the different things you learn. And look, some of these dudes walk around these cons. I'm like, y'all look like y'all got squished up grub worms. Y'all need to cover that up. Cover it up, man. So they need a booth at Comic Cons, dance belts with pads.
Yeah.
So I could, yeah. Anyway.
Spandex doesn't hide anything.
Spandex adds nothing and it accentuates everything too. Highlights whatever you're wearing or whatever you got. It highlights it. So yeah, but it pushes the muscles down sometimes too if it's too tight. So if you think you got some cuts, I'm covering them. But what do you do? But yeah,
Yeah, this is so
my
interesting.
gosh.
Yeah, this is always interesting because when it comes to, like, with the movie suits, like, they wear either some kind of padding or it's like the different fabric that kind of hides a little bit of like the cuts or definition for some actors. Because I always thought for Chris Reeves, he looks kind of skinny in the suit, but I guess that's comparing to nowadays where every actor who's a superhero, they gotta get like really buff and shredded for the role.
Um, Christopher Reeve was skinny at first, and he trained with David Prowse, who's actually the guy in the Darth Vader suit. So Darth Vader trained Superman. Trained him up to gain 30 pounds of muscle, and he put on a lot of muscle. So first time around, when Christopher Reeve wore that suit, he might have looked skinny, but he was still muscular. Like he looked really great.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and that spandex, sometimes it pushes everything down, so you can't really see the definition. Now, what you got here, Henry Cavill, don't get me wrong, Henry Cavill is muscular, he looks great, but they also put little pads in his deltoids and his chest and everything, so he'll look it would accentuate it. So like I said, the spandex covers, so they put that in there. Plus, they put silver pads in there, so when light hit it, it shined. So with Dean Cain's, I don't think Dean had any pads. Dean used to be a football player, and he looked all right. George Reeves, he had small pads, and then as he got older, I think they put like a muscle shirt in him. He's like me; his waist got bigger as he got older, so I feel his pain. Um, it's, it's it's harder and harder to get off. Uh, who else? The new guy, his new suit with David Cornsweet. Um, I don't think they put any pads in it. I mean, if they did, you couldn't tell because it doesn't show hardly any muscle whatsoever. Because it looks like I don't know if it's going to be, but it looks like it's jean material. And I'm not dogging or not like that, but just from what I've seen, it looks like it's blue jeans. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. Um, and I'm definitely not hating on it because I'm going to love that movie as soon as it comes out. Anything comes out with an S on it, I'm going to love on it. Um, but yeah, the different through the years, the different actors, even Brandon Routh, I think he had a little padding in his, but he worked out a lot to get his body up to par. And he says when he was done, he just didn't want to work out anymore. It's like I get it. Sometimes it's for people, sometimes working out's not for people. So I've been doing it since I was 14, so it's kind of like a habit for me. I just like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got it, and yeah, I would say for the new Sir movie, it's definitely gonna be a treat because especially after seeing the latest trailer.
Mhm.
Now, now you talked about how you met with Alex Ross, but how about with the writer of Kingdom Come, Mark Waid?
I didn't never meet him. I never met Mark. Never met him. I'd like to. Never met him. Like I said, the only time I got to meet Alex was in New York, and there was a whole room full of people waiting to get his autograph because he was promoting his new book, Marvelosity, and it was him and Chip Kidd, and I don't remember who the other guy was beside him. Uh, but they're all there promoting the book, and they said Alex very rarely leaves his house because he paints all day. He's scared that he won't be able to make it up because he doesn't want to be away from the board of painting. So when he came to New York, that was rare. And I remember the first time I did see him, long time ago, 20 years ago. I think it was our one of our first Comic Cons we went to in Chicago. And he had a panel, and I went and listened to him. And I walked up to the table afterwards, and was asking me when he'd sign something, and his handler basically jumped in front of him. There's a line for that outside. All right, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no clue. And then I walk out there, and the line's capped, so I didn't even get the meeting then. So I was basically was a hey, how you doing? I took a picture of him, or my wife took a picture of me talking to him. But other than that, I didn't get the meeting. Man. Like I said, I got to meet him in New York. Um, so that was cool. Unfortunately, he didn't come to Chicago, the premiere. But honestly, if he'd have came, he'd have been swamped. I mean, there were hundreds of people there. Um, he wouldn't have gotten out of there. I think we got out of there. We went in like 7 to watch the show, and we come out at 9. And if he was there, we wouldn't have left out of there till midnight or longer. I mean, people were lined up. And when they're all looking around asking about him, I'm like, "He's not here. I'm here."
Oh, yeah, I bet even after the show, you were probably still mobbed by people wanting to talk to you, take a picture with
I
you.
was here. I was doing pictures. Like I see Kaylin, they set up this marquee, if you will, behind it. It said Kingdom Come. It was really nice. And I would stand in front of it and we took pictures for hours before the show. Like so I got there like around 5. So I want to say from 5:30 to 5:30, maybe 6 to 7. And even a little bit past 7, I was taking pictures because people were walking in late. And can I get a picture? I was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't usually tell anybody no unless we're in a bathroom. Don't ask me for a picture in the bathroom.
God, there are some freaks out there.
You'd be surprised how many people ask me for pictures of the bathroom. Like, no, that's the only time I say it. But usually, if I'm in a costume and someone asks for a picture, by all means, yeah, let's take a picture. Um,
Oh, yeah, like, when I was with you
but
at
yeah, like I
New
said, huh? New York, yeah.
yeah, but, you go
Without, yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was saying I remember
Well, I
when
was just
we
saying,
no, sorry, it's just I
good,
remember when
Josh, man.
we yeah, sorry, just I guess there's might be a delay connection, but anyway, I remember when we met up at New York Comic Con, people were coming up to you so much, and this was a convention where there was already a handful of Superman cosplayers.
There's always a bunch of us. I want to say at New York, I think there was 10 of us at one time that were standing around. I think there were 10 of us. I think. I don't know. But if you go to Metropolis, there are so many. Metropolis. It's fun. I like Metropolis better, in my opinion. It's family oriented. It's like home going to Metropolis in Illinois. That's fun. But yeah, I think there were 10 of us at one time that were standing around in New York. So there's always a handful of us.
Yeah.
There were, and we had, like you say, a lot of folks just do the classic stuff. And um, like when we go to Dragon Con, people try to do the obscure Superman outfits and stuff. I got 20 of them now, 20 different suits. And I did the War World suit, and no one's done that one yet. So a lot of folks were taking pictures of that. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember, I think that was the first thing you wore when you and I met at Dragon Con.
That one got a lot of attention. Of course, you're half naked, so I mean, it's what it is. It's just one big. It's this. It's like more like down here though, and the cape comes here, and there's chains. And the rest you're kind of exposed. You're just out there. So you're wearing some trunks and some boots, and I have to get spray painted with a fake tan because I'm Irish, just Scotch Irish. I don't tan well, so I have to put I have to get a spray tan for that. Otherwise, I just glow.
No, I gotcha. But hey, I mean, it's basically Superman trying to do his own version of He-Man or Conan.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, it's an easy costume to wear, but you better be in shape. So yeah,
No, I gotcha. It's amazing with how with the variety of Superman cosplays you've done over the years.
yeah. Like I said, I got 2 more or 3 more. I have the Earth 2 one with he's older. I'm trying to lean towards older characters now as I get older. And then I have the Action Comics one with the shield, and then uh, Krypton Man, where it's just red and black, and he's got like this ruffles down his arm. So I just like that suit. I remember reading it a long time ago. I was like, that's pretty cool. And I finally got it made. Uh, so it looks nice. I haven't worn that one yet. So I'm wearing the two Action and Earth 2 to Dallas in 2 weeks. So I'll be wearing those. And then I'll probably wear the Krypton Man to Dragon Con. So we'll see what goes on. But I'm not wearing Krypton Man to Dallas. I don't think anybody would really know who I was, other than a true fan. But if you go to Dragon Con, people know who you are because people from all over come to Dragon Con. It's a great little convention. I say little. It's a great convention.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's basically like a
It's
mini city.
pretty much the whole city is Dragon Con. The whole week that you're there. So it's fun. It's a fun experience. There's parties every night. I mean, if you want to go to a party, go to a party. If you're into Superman, there's a whole Superman people that come up here to Walking Dead. There's that. There's the 300 group. I did that once. There's there's all kind of stuff. If there's a fandom, it's a Dragon Con.
Yeah.
It's fun. Highly recommend it. uh,
Yeah, I would say in some ways it's bigger than New York Comic Con.
what's spread out?
Definitely more spread out.
5 hotels. And then there's another building that has the vendors, and it's 4 to 5 stories of vendors, and
Yep.
it's crazy, man. It's just nuts. But
So much
you know,
walking.
yeah, it's a lot of walking. I try to get Mike to ride the scooters, but you don't like riding the scooters. I like riding the scooters. He didn't like it, so I'm not gonna tell you why. But anyway, I
Uh,
like it.
I get it. So I guess the last thing I wanted to ask is for the event, were there any other comic book artists or authors that came by to witness the documentary?
Yeah, oh yeah, they're like Sal's an artist. Uh, he's a comic book artist. I think he did. Get me lying. I want to say Atomic Man. I think I don't remember. There was one guy. He was a comic book scholar, so I think he teaches like a class about it. Um, there was like I said, there was a couple of people that walked up that were definitely in comic book art. I think there was 1 or 2 writers there. Like I said, I hate that I can't remember names. I'm the worst remember names. I remember a face. Um, but yeah, they were there, definitely there. There was had to be 300 or 400 people there. I mean, it was a big theater and it was almost full. I mean, like literally, because when I walked in, because like I said, I was still taking pictures because people were coming in late and I'm obliging them, which I didn't have no problem with it.
Yeah.
When I walked in, I'm like, where the hell am I gonna sit? So out in the back, there's 2 guys. I think they do a comic book podcast too. And I can't remember the name. Um, but they were there. This one lady, she was sweet. She gave me this newspaper, um, People and Places. She was there, so they were basically doing a review of it. And she goes, "You're gonna be in our paper." Okay, thank you. I was like, that's why I kept it because I will forget if she hadn't given me this. I would forgot. So I'm the word remember. It's like if I don't talk to you on a daily basis or have conversations with you here and there, I'm not gonna remember your name. I hate it, but that's just what it is.
It's
I don't
okay.
have the super, you know.
That's okay. It happens, but I'm glad that you had a
Yeah,
good time and got to be a part of this event.
it was great. Like I said, Morgan, from the Superman Museum, she showed up. I was so happy to see her. Um, she was there. A couple other folks from Metropolis showed up. and me and Morgan talked um, pretty much half the night because I knew who she was. We just sat there and shoot the shit, if you will, and because they live in Illinois, so it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to come from Metropolis to Chicago. So I live in Louisiana. I had to fly up there, and that was something else. Like, that's a whole other story. A trip. But like I said, Morgan was there. A couple of folks. Stephanie was there from Metropolis. Um, Edward was there. And something, if people didn't know who Morgan was, I was damn sure going to tell folks who she was. I was like, y'all don't know who this is. I was like, you might want to get to know her. I said, she runs the Superman Museum down in Metropolis. That's where y'all need to go. I says, every one of y'all need to go to Metropolis and visit. I said, it's a great place to be. I said, it's like Smallville, but that museum is pretty cool. I mean, if you love Superman, that's where you need to go. Her daddy, Jim, he built it up from the ground, and it's amazing. I think they've done renovations the past year, and it looks great. I want to go this year. I'm still debating. Debating. I want to go. I want to go. That's still up in the air. We'll see. I can
Yeah.
guarantee you that right now. I am going to. That's on the books. As far as the metro goes, I want to.
No,
Sometimes my schedule doesn't. You know,
no, I understand. Yeah, it's hard to try to figure out how many of these events you can go to.
and expensive too. Traveling is expensive. Yeah, you get on the road. And I drive a big old truck. So my truck eats the gas, so loves it. Which we
Yes.
probably nice cars. Our car is a lot better than
Uh,
I got a Dodge.
sorry, what?
I said I got a big old Dodge Ram that drinks the gas. It's got the Hemi. They got me with that commercial. It's got a Hemi in it. So they got me. Hook, line, and sinker.
Well, I would say that be our time for today. I want to thank you, Mike, for being a part of this podcast.
My pleasure, sir.
Hopefully, that documentary can be available on Amazon or any retail stores or somewhere online for anyone to purchase.
We'll go to that QR code that I sent you. That thing right. This thing. You see that?
Yep, I see it. So anyone can just scan it and they can get it themselves.
Yep. That's how you get it. That's Of course I got my own copy, but yeah, it was a Kickstarter, so they did that a while back. Never already pitched in, but that's the way you can get it now.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, yeah, because I'll be curious to see it, especially the fact that you got to be a part of the documentary.
All for like 3 seconds. No last.
Still, that's something. But and thanks to all the viewers for tuning in. So if you have any more comments or questions, be sure to direct them to me or to Mike on his Instagram. And have a good day.
I'll be super. Take care.